I'm live. Show live chat messages. Although no one's chatted with me. People rarely chat with me, but... Hi guys, it's day 5 of VEDA. And it's Saturday, so this is my Sunday. But what I do on the weekends, it's laundry time for me, and so... I actually just got back from shopping at Lowe's and Walmart to get stuff, and... I would love to vlog my trip into Lowe's or Walmart and that kind of stuff, but honestly, guys, 30 seconds after I walk into place, I'm on sensory overload, and so that simply is not going to be an option because I have to focus all my energy on getting my stuff done and not looking like a fool. But I was kind of annoyed because I had to make 2 trips today because I wanted to get vacuum bags and belts for my Kirby, but Walmart was all sold out of them, and I think they're like the only place around here that has them. But anyways, I did also have to, when I was at Walmart, I realized it's like, one of the things on my list of things to do was to go and get new linens for the bathroom, and so I got all that, and now it's time to wash them. So let me do this. And we will head over to the much properly named laundry room here. So yeah, this is the new Samsung washer that I showed you in yesterday's vlog. I should mention, and yeah, there's my pile of laundry, but I should mention that I got both these machines for like 50% off. And so basically it's just a matter of turning the thing on, and then up here I have my laundry premix, which is again my mom's patented concoction of trisodium phosphate and sodium bicarbonate, aka baking soda, so I'll put in like maybe 1/3 of a cup. Since I do have all that stuff to wash, but maybe a little bit more. We'll go with a 1/2 cup. And so yeah, I just put that in the bottom of the washer. I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but it seems to me like it's going to be a better alternative than turn it in there. And then this is the laundry fill thing, the detergent fill thing. You got your fabric softener, bleach, and then detergent, and you got your pre-wash. But I don't think that's meant for powdered stuff. And so yeah, and then I just do Tide. And there's a convenient line on there that you throw it in, so that when you pour it, you know where to go. Put that back up on the shelf, and then I got myself, well, first we'll close this. So I got myself 2 dish towels. And then I'm going to wash all of my old towels. I've had these towels for 10 years, and it's time that I upgrade. So I will throw those in there. More old towels. And then this is my Walmart haul here. I got myself a bath rug, or a bath mat, because before I was just using a towel to walk on, and that towel got worn out. 2 new washcloths, and then I got 4 new towels. And again, I should mention that I really like this washer because you can really stuff this thing full and it still will do a good job. All the washers that I had at the apartment before were just horrible when it came to load capacity. Like if you picture like a regular sized laundry basket full of clothes, at the apartment that I was living at for 6 years, you can maybe get like half a basket in there and the washing machine would just be absolutely stuffed full. And it was $1.50 to wash and $1.50 to dry, so a lot of money was spent on laundry. But I will shut the thing here, and then I will select a load, and in this case I'll just do towels and we'll see what it gives me here. And you got all the different options for what you want to do here. So I like to go with hot water. Spin speed, I have it extra high, normal swell, and then I always do a little extra water just because I'm kind of paranoid about that. I've had some bad experiences with high efficiency washers before, and let's say their ability to get clothes clean, but this one seems to do a pretty good job. And so once you have all your stuff selected, you just hit the button there and it will kick into gear. And so it's going to go through its thing here where it will try and figure out what's going on inside of it, and then once it figures that out, it will get busy doing my wash. So it moved there for a second, so it's going to spin around a couple times. It's going to try and figure out how much stuff you have in there, so it knows how much water to put in. So yeah, it just spins sometime a little bit. It's load sensing, and once it figures that out, it'll give me a time to for how long it's going to take to do this load of laundry. So while it does that, I'll front face the camera. I'll flip the camera around here again. Ooh, here we go. It got done a little earlier. It's on. I finally figured out what it wants to do. It's going to take an hour and 10 to do this, which isn't too bad. It does take longer than the classic top loaders, but now it's going to go through and it's going to fill it up with water, and it does it slowly over like the course of maybe about like 20 minutes or so, and eventually it'll get to the point where all this stuff will be wet and smushed down about halfway, and there must be like water level sensors in there that it aims to fill, and it just keeps filling up till it hits those, and I think that's how that works. But yeah, the first washer machine that I can ever remember using was my parents' Kenmore. They were from probably like the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. They came with the house that my parents bought, and both were Alban gold colored, and the washer had the Sud Savers option on it. So if you filled up your laundry tub with the water from one load, you could use it to wash the next. And so what Mom would always do is that she would wash the whites first and then save the water from that, and then she would do the darks. And that way Mom would save, she'd save water and stuff. But this Kenmore washer that we had a thing on it that would trip the motor when it was in the spin cycle if it was off balance. And the darn thing had a buzzer on it. And I just absolutely, if you know how people are on the spectrum are, buzzers tend not to agree with them, and this buzzer on this washing machine certainly didn't agree with me. And I remember my parents would always make me go and turn the thing off, because they would make me, actually my parents made me, when I was like 6, 7 years old, they showed me how to do the laundry, and they would make me do my own clothes. They would supervise me. And you had to be careful about how you put the clothes in the washer, because like I said, if you put them in wrong, the washer would not balance properly, and when it would spin, and it would shut off, and it would be like, really, really annoying buzzer. And so one day, I was doing this, it was just me and Mom, and Mom had to go off somewhere for like 5 minutes, and so she just let me be in the house, and I think I was like first grade, 7 years old. And sure enough, the washing machine goes off balance when it was spinning, and it's going, and I didn't want to go downstairs and deal with it. Well, in the past, my parents would make me go downstairs, and I had a strategy where, I would plug one ear with one hand, and I would reach up with the other hand, and I would hit the thing to shut it off. But I didn't go down there, and so this buzzer was going for like, 10 minutes, and then the buzzer suddenly changed pitch, or it changed tone a little bit, and then it got really quiet, and it stopped. And I was like, yay, the washer's fixed. And Mom got back, and she went downstairs, and there was actually smoke in the basement, because this buzzer, apparently on this washing machine, wasn't meant to run continuously, and it burned itself out. So yeah, I almost started the house on fire doing that. But we had this washer until October of 1989. We're getting some action now, so I'll flip it around, and you can watch it do its thing. But we had that Kenmore washer until October of 1989 when the transmission broke. Actually, the piece inside that broke was called the wigwag, which is what makes the agitator do that. And that broke, and so we finally got new washer and dryer, and then we had Whirlpool. And we got one of them newfangled direct drive washing machines, and we had that thing until I moved out of the house in 2007, and my dad kept it for another year, and excuse me, the thing still worked. And he finally got rid of it because the tub was leaking and the whole bottom of it was rusting out. And then he got this Samsung top loader's high efficiency, and I did not like that thing at all, the way that it washed clothes. I did one load of laundry in it, and it did not get them clean at all. And so, getting this, so when I got this, I was kind of hesitant about it, but the guy that I talked to at the appliance place said that the manufacturers had done a really, really good job with the top loaders. And, well, not the top loaders, the side loaders. And so I elected to trust his word on it, and I bought one. And needless to say, for what it does, I think it does a pretty good job. I would highly recommend one of these washers, but one thing from reading online, I didn't get a manual with this at all because it was from a scratch and dent place, so there was no factory warranty, there was no manual. I mean, that's just one of the downsides of having a washer that's was not meant to be sold to the public, but they're good values nonetheless. So I had to go do some reading online, and one thing that some people have said that you got to do with these is that when you're done with them, you got to leave the door open on them because they will, or else they mold up. That was one thing I read, and then the other thing that I read too that I didn't know is that there's like a filter and drain assembly over here. And you got to drain that out every now and then. And this does have an option for a tub clean on it. My air conditioner's kicking in. We've had some nice weather here in Cedar Rapids, but it's still like in the lower 80s, so I have my thermostat set at 76 in the day, and then I have it set at 72 in the nighttime when I go to bed. But if you notice my air plenum, there's holes drilled in it. I drilled holes in the air plenum on there because my furnace is it's a downdraft furnace. It takes air from up high and it pushes it down through vents in the floor because this is just a slab house. There's no basement. But there was no air circulation here in the laundry room and in my kitchen, so the air would get really stuffy. So I took that panel off and I drilled some holes in it just to get a little air moving, and my kitchen and my laundry room are a lot more tolerable now. So yeah, this is going through its thing here, and I have been going on for about 13 minutes and 20 seconds now. I'm starting to recover from my trip out shopping, and I have an hour and 5 left to go on the laundry. It's quite mesmerizing, isn't it, watching this thing kind of go around and around in circles. I see I've got some people watching here. If you got any questions, by all means, type them into the chat and ask me. I'll answer them. I'm just doing this to get a VEDA in for the day, so again, if you have any questions, feel free to fire away. If not, I'll give this a couple more minutes and then I'm going to wrap it up. Hi Cranky, I see your question. It's true about the mold when you close the door of the machine when it's just been used. Yes, I definitely leave mine leave it open so that the air can dry out. God bless the South Koreans, LG. Now the question is, will this thing last 10 years? I guess a lot of people have been saying that they do. But it's got an inverter motor on it, so there's no belt to break or anything like that. There's obviously some pretty high-tech software programming in here to make it spin like it does. I mean, those South Koreans, they obviously did their research on how to get clothes clean in this thing, because this thing does some pretty interesting gyrations when it washes. Yeah, that's so true. So true of the electronics. They use crappy capacitors, or well, I definitely think it's a lot of it has to do with like the capacitors, or they undersize the silicone-based components for driving the motors and stuff like that. There's actually a panel on the back of this washing machine here that I can show you here. It says hot, and it's not hot now, but I think that's where the electronics are for driving the motor. So I'm guessing this is probably like a 3-phase inverter motor that's just kind of anchored on the back of the drum, and it does its thing based on how the MOSFETs drive it. I think this thing might be filled up with all the water that it's going to fill up. I do see it kind of sloshing around in the bottom there. But yeah, these things make a very, very efficient use of water. So yeah, it spins a couple times and then it stops and it lets everything soak through, and then it reverses and it repeats. I'm going to front face for 2 seconds. Mine usually fills to the bottom edge of the window, but it's over 10 years old. Yeah, I could definitely see that. This thing doesn't get anywhere near the bottle of the. Ooh, and slid down the stairs once. Ouch. But yeah, this thing does not get anywhere near the bottom of the window there. I think like the most I've seen it filled up is like maybe a couple inches into the bottom of the tub. And that's not a bad thing, because I do have to pay for water here, although water is actually pretty cheap. I just got my utility bill, and for 2 months, water, sewer, trash, and yeah, water, sewer, trash, it was only like $110, so I'm not going to complain too much. But as I was going to say, you know, back in the day, when I was a little kid, I always used to, with the Whirlpool washer, I always used to take a clothespin and I would jam it into the safety switch on the lid, and I would watch it when it was in spin, wringing the water out of the clothes. And my parents could never understand why I was so enthralled with that. But obviously this was a long time ago, so they did not know about what we know today. So yeah, that's my bath mat that you see in the front there. My new bath mat that I've never had before. And with Mom's patented wash premix with baking soda and trisodium phosphate, my old towels, I'll keep those in my linen closet in my bathroom, and because of that premix, they will stay fresh for a really, really, really long time. So anyways, I think I am going to wrap this up, because somebody else that VEDA's with me is now just gone live. I just got the notification. Go over to My Not So Mediocre Life, April. I'm going to end this, and I want you all to go over there and watch her channel, because she just started a live stream. I got the notification, so I'm going to stop. And I'm going to thank you all for watching. Please like this video, please comment on this video, and please subscribe to my channel.